there, guitar nuts, nerds, geeks, freaks, and enthusiasts of every stripe and description. It's Steve, coming direct to you from picturesque Nashville, Tennessee, where it's currently a crisp 100 degrees outside. As you might be able to tell from the angle here, coming to you from the inside of a vehicle, in this case, a Mercedes Sprinter limousine. Yes, I'm on the job once again. I hope to find time to do a new episode at home, the comfort of my own air-conditioned studio, the nice backdrop of my guitars and whatnot. Nah, not going to happen this week. And I don't want to wait any longer. So, here I am. So what are we going to talk about today? How about guitars? What's new in the guitar world? Well, the biggest news in both guitars and in music gear in general is, of course, the yearly NAMM show from Anaheim, California. It just concluded a few days ago, and I wasn't able to attend myself, but I did watch a lot of accounts of it on YouTube, from the various YouTubers, as well as from Premier Guitar Magazine, who always does a lot of really good coverage of it. And it seems to me that by far the most notable thing was the absence of something rather than the presence of, and that's to say Fender. Even though Fender is more or less local to Anaheim, they opted not to attend this year. They had no booth, they had nothing to display, and I guess they just decided it wasn't worth their time. So I understand that they really don't have a lot of new items to show anyway. They're still trying to get out the items that have already been ordered. The infamous supply chain problems we've all heard about. Let's see, what else? Gibson. What do you have to say about Gibson? The biggest news from Gibson is the second price increase this year, which is to say that if you had your heart set on that $1,299 Les Paul Studio, it's now going to cost you more like $1,599. That's going to do wonders for their business, I'm sure. But hey, they know what they're doing, right? They've been around for 150 years, whatever it is. I don't remember the date. But so be it. Now, of course, Chickenbacker, they actually did show up. And they were there to display their new panoramic line of rainbow colors. Of course, I'm pulling your leg. We all know Chickenbacker only offers 3 finishes on their standard instruments. But at least they did have a nice selection of them out. They had one of pretty much everything on display. It even looked like maybe one of each of the 3 finishes. I saw some really cool pictures of Ellie Deaston, formerly of the Cars, more recently of Creedence Clearwater Revisited, and the Used Cars. They were checking out their left-handed selection, which was kind of cool, as Elliott's a great guitar player. If by some odd chance you're not familiar, pick up some of those Cars albums, and around all the candy floss pop that might be too twee for some of you, there's some fantastic guitar playing and great songwriting as well. So that's the only big news that I have from NAMM, although I will say there was one thing that I saw that piqued my interest. Guild displayed a new model called the Surfliner. It's kind of an offset guitar, 2 single coils, 1 humbucker pickup, and street price of only $449. And I've watched several reviews of it on YouTube and read a few, and by all accounts, it's a really solid value and a really good guitar. The only thing anyone had to complain about was the fact that, oddly enough, for a guitar with surf right in the name, didn't offer any kind of a vibrato. Instead, the strings go through the body and over a Tune-O-Matic style bridge. I'm sure they will probably in the future offer a vibrato version, especially if it's as popular as I think it's going to be. But yeah, surf guitar with no whammy. Strange. I've got to hear a few demos of it, and I'm pleased to say, in spite of having 2 single coils and a humbucker, it sounds nothing like a Fender Stratocaster. The pickups are apparently based on some old DeArmond designs, and they sound crisp and chimey and jangly, and you Chickenbacker fans out there will really enjoy this guitar. So I'm going to show a picture of it here through the wonders of YouTube technology. And it's only available in 3 finishes right now, but they all look pretty good. And do yourself a favor and check it out if you can find one at your local shop. I need another guitar like I need a hole in my head, but if I'm being honest, I'd really like to have one of these, or at the very least get a hold of one that I can do a review myself on. It's a guilty pleasure. I want to check it out, to be honest with you. So anyway, that's all the NAMM news. That's all the guitar news that I have at the moment for you. Now, our last episode, which featured me showing off my #1 guitar, was pretty popular. It looks like almost all of the 200 subscribers have viewed it, or at least 200 of someone, and that's cool. I've gotten several emails, which, by the way, I should mention right now. If you want to email me, you can still email me at rickenbackeranonymous@gmail.com, which, throw back to the old show format when we were called Rickenbacker Anonymous. I couldn't see any reason to start a new email. So, if you want to email me with any show ideas, tell me your thoughts on what I'm about to discuss or anything else, you can do that. Also, if by chance you want to make any kind of a contribution, maybe a virtual tip jar of sorts. It gets a little expensive buying guitars to review and other things of that nature. By all means, go to rickenbackeranonymous@gmail.com on PayPal and give whatever you can afford to give if you feel so inclined. No pressure, but sure appreciate it. Helps to buy more new stuff to show in the future. Enough of that. But I got several emails from people asking me, where can I get a quality Rickenbacker copy from a Chinese company? And as I had mentioned in the episode, the company that made mine is no longer in existence, at least not that I know of. Certainly, if you go to their website, there's nothing there, it's just parked. So I can't tell you. From a moral standpoint, I shouldn't tell you even if I could, but I would. But I don't know. Are there, in fact, any quality copies being made right now? Or call a spade, forgeries, knockoffs, fakes, whatever you want to call them. There are definitely plenty of them being made. You can look on AliExpress and find scores of them, of various levels of, realism, and some that are just downright goofy with a bit of a Rick influence. But as far as whether any of those are worth owning or not, I couldn't say. But it does have me thinking about an idea for a future episode. Back when we were Rickenbacker Anonymous, I suggested something called Operation Chickenbacker, where I would kind of take a poll, find out what everybody's thoughts were on me ordering one of these fakes, which model you'd like to see and what specs and whatnot. And then I would order one, hopefully with the help of some generous donors. But if not, I was going to do it anyway. And get it in, review it, and possibly give it away to a viewer, since you can't sell it. That never actually happened. But the idea of ordering one so that I can review it to save you the trouble, that's kind of intriguing. I'm curious too. I got my infamous Rempis backer 7 years ago, and I have no way of telling you what they're like now. I did try ordering a double neck 2 years ago, which was a terrible experience. It showed up unplayable. All it's been good for is for photography purposes. I've got a picture of me with it on the inside of my new CD, but apart from that, totally unplayable. It's just a wall hanger. You can literally fit your hand under the strings at the 12th fret, and there's no way to get the saddles any lower. The bridge won't go lower. The neck doesn't adjust any farther down. They're glued in, so there's nothing you can do there. It's just useless, and it was just a waste of money, to be honest. So the question is, supposedly Chinese manufacturing, both legitimate and gray market, has improved significantly in the last couple of years. I know several guys who swear by their fake Gibson Les Pauls, and they say they've just gotten incredibly good. Who knows? I mean, I don't have one, so I couldn't say, nor do I have a real one, so I have no comparison anyway. But what do you think? What do you think about me ordering a Chickenbacker and reviewing it for the show. I know there's really no legalities to it as long as you don't try to sell it or bring in quantities of them. It's not really a problem. And I would insist on having no logo on the headstock. I would also insist on it being some sort of a model that isn't actually available from Rickenbacker themselves. I don't see any point in ordering a fake 330 when I could buy a real 330. There's no excuse for that. An obscure model that no longer exists, maybe, or at least something that's a 21 fret version, that Chickenbacker doesn't offer anymore, something of that nature, maybe. But tell me what you think. So, legal standings and moral standings apart. The idea here is, I know a lot of Rickenbacker enthusiasts, several personally, and 75% of the enthusiasts I know own a Chickenbacker. True story. They're very much Rick enthusiasts. They're all about the company. They love it, and they still ordered a Chickenbacker, mostly out of curiosity, I'm thinking. Were they disappointed? Were they, satisfied? Hard to say. I haven't asked. As I said, my experience has been hit and miss. I've had one very good experience and one really bad one. So what do you think? Should I order one? Give me your thoughts either down below in the comments, or you could send me an email. Whatever it is, I'm curious as to what you think. Would you like me to order one of these and feature it on the show? By the way, this is going to be a rather short episode. I just wanted to get in these ideas and get back to work. I'm actually waiting on a plane at the airport at the moment, and fighting the 100-degree heat. But tell me what you think, and also any other ideas you have for future shows, topics, things you'd like me to feature. Whatever it is, I'll do whatever I can. I've still got a bit of money left over from when I sold my Rickenbacker 370-12, and I've used that to make a couple of purchases for items that I intend to review in the future. Both a high-end guitar and a couple of lower-end guitars that I've purchased, and I'm going to be showing you on here. It is what it is, and I want to be able to give you what you want. So the only way I can do that is if you let me know what you want. What I want you to like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, tell a friend, tell an enemy, go tell it on the mountain. You've heard it all before. Anything you can do. And if you can make a contribution to the show, by all means do. There's only a couple hundred of us at this point. When we get to a couple of thousand, maybe I'll consider starting some sort of a Patreon or something and see if anyone's interested in doing any sort of regular support of the show. But for now, if you could just, donate something, make some kind of a contribution to help with these purchases or whatever, or just to say thank you to me for doing all this. Maybe you're entertained. I hope you're entertained. That's what I'm here for. Do so. As I said, PayPal, RickenbackerAnonymous@gmail.com. Do what you can. Give till it hurts, and then give some more, right? As they say. Anyway, this is Steve coming to you from Nashville. So until next time, rock on, chime on, play hard, stay cool, frosty as it were. It's a scorcher out there, kids, so do what you can. Until next time, this has been Steve. I'm out.